Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2, my two favorite players to watch. Head to head, yet again, best of three. Let me introduce, fully able to go about his build order while holding an entire conversation in the chat. It is Micro Jackson, ByuN. Such a great conversation. Apparently we kicked one of the casters out of the game, but I'm glad to still be here to introduce the final boss. It is dark. And yes, the sounds of a Reaper already grace the field. As if you like seeing ByuN trying out his trademark strategy yet again. If you like seeing these two face off, well, it'd be awesome if you could like this video. Give me, what are we? 1,050. We made it to 1,050. Wow. Dark ass ByuN. If we get 1,050 likes, I'll cast another series. And I'll probably do it anyways. But apparently Dark ass ByuN. How long are you going to do this build? And ByuN says until I win. So, well, we'll see how long that takes. I'm not sure how many times ByuN has reapered Dark lately. It can't have been a non-zero number. But the Reapers still going to work. The unit that ByuN got nerfed twice. And you know the defining series that really led to both the grenade cooldown and damage at separate times being nerfed for the Mass Reaper? It was ByuN versus Dark. The BlizzCon Championships of 2016. Still one of the most exciting World Finals, I think, pretty much ever. Yes, the storyline from this year with Oliveira was dramatic, but the actual games, Terran versus Maru, Cyril's dominance, also something noteworthy, but the actual finals, not as dramatic. But ByuN versus Dark sticks out in my mind as possibly, oh my god, he drops the rocks in the bone trench already, but it sticks out in my mind as one of the most memorable, if not the most memorable finals. Early on in the Legacy of the Void, two of the top players at the best of their game. I mean, they're still doing amazing. And it appears we've got that situation for Dark of, oh, this actually really hurts the opportunities for the Reapers. Okay, we got an attack coming across. It's a bunch of Marines, a few Reapers. He's just gonna go through the rocks. This looks so weird. But Dark has his obligatory military service, much like Zest. Come back to us, Zest. Last year. But we're not sure when he's gonna go about that, as he's still participating in tournaments. They were earlier in the match discussing flights to Yonkoping, which is the closest I'm ever gonna get to pronouncing that. For the ESL summer, so I think we still got a little time with the darkness. At least for now. We'll see how much more time we have in this game, though, as here comes ByuN with a bunch of Marines. He's got Stim, but Dark already has plenty of roaches in order to drive him back. And a bit of a non-starter. That's far too many roaches to deal with. Dark very much knows. He's clearly played against this style before from ByuN, and he's no stranger to early timing attacks himself. So gets plenty of roaches. Those are no speed, no upgrades, just enough roaches to make it very difficult for a bunch of Stim Marines to come up the ramp, or to come into the third. As without any medevacs, that's permanent damage, and the sheer amount of roaches is more than enough to whittle them down. So brute force against ByuN's attempts to pull one over on him. And Dark is probably the most accomplished roach player at the moment. So many times, like the conventional wisdom says, Lings and Banes, maybe Hydras added in over time. But Dark is perfectly comfortable with that, with the much older style, but it still checks out. The Roach Ravager and then eventually Infester. So far leaning on that. Wow. Feels kind of weird, but only one Marine has died. A handful of Zerglings. Looks like a Reaper will be next on the agenda. Maybe even a second. No. baited masterfully yet again. But the Reaper drags the Zerglings into the Marines, which then happily gun down as many as possible. Only 53 drones for Doc. So still very much a very mediocre economy considering it's a 3-base Zerg. But ByuN has only now lifted towards his 3rd command center, or at least landed his 3rd command center. We got an armor, we got a 2nd engineering bay, +1 attack about to complete. And that will be the final bit of the triple threat there. The STEM combat shield +1. Medevacs already in flight. On their way across. Well, I guess a little behind rather than across, but... Drops out the Marine's gonna go for the 4th. Did Dark have vision of this? I think he caught a glimpse somewhere. Or he just, well, he knows the medevacs are out there. And the medevacs go right back in. There's no vision there. The fog of war obscures it. And Dark may very... Oh, that's gotta be so... That's so annoying. He gets a cancel off in time. But ByuN, with just a handful of Marines taken out, gets the cancel on the base. And now escapes with enough Marines that he has to keep a bunch of Roaches and Ravagers at home. So Dark maybe was thinking about a 1-1 Roach speed timing, where he could keep the pressure on, ByuN force him back to his base, but that's not gonna happen. Corrosive Bile's thrown out. Just making sure ByuN knows, keeping him honest. Alright. Unlikely he's going to get hit by them, but it is Dark. He does some filthy mind tricks sometimes that end up working out. Speaking of Roaches with burrow move. Against this is kind of a crazy strat. It's not that expensive. It's one of those, like, why don't more people get it? But rarely does it make the difference compared to just, you know, having hive tech or better upgrades. It is a big investment. Oh, Brenda! What are you doing? No, succeeding you, Karen. Oh my god. The Queens. A bit of, civil strife there. But most of them will survive it. Meanwhile, Dark, hey, we're gonna get to 4 bases. There's been a tension, okay, but there's been very little actual action in the common sense of units killing each other, as neither player willing to commit to a likely ill-fated attack until at least 200 supply, it seems. Yep, 1,000 minerals to just 600 lost. That leaves everything on the table, though. Creep being cleared up. Still plenty out the center of the map. Hive tech halfway done. Hydrolus den completed. I think up. Burrow move Roaches. Well, the missile turret well placed. And unfortunately, they can't burrow under the supply depots because, of course, as you know, the supply depots have to lower underground, which means there's a space there the Roaches cannot burrow into. And also because... Stop asking dumb questions. Oh, he finished a missile turret. I was wondering. Well, he kills the tank. Dark, I think, can claim credit for that. The Roaches being somewhat annoying. But yeah, burrowed underneath that tank. Oh, one lived. Lurker Den on the way. We're gonna go straight to the late game with just a few speed bumps. Quite literal speed bumps in the form of burrow move Roaches. As it doesn't take much to get through them, but a mild inconvenience. I guess if ByuN didn't know or he didn't shut down the first set, then that's when things get out of control, but he clearly has dealt with it. Despite the fact there's still one Roach over here, I don't think that's going to turn the tide. In fact, it would have trouble against a small stream. 5 command centers. 5 command centers at a time, because that's what we're doing now. We're speeding to that late game, end game scenario where the SCVs are a liability. The Fungal comes in though! Corrosive Bile's in the sky, knocking down a medevac. And just like that, Dark puts the fear of infestors right back into ByuN, who says, well, I hope you're not scared of ghosts, because he's building 5 of those at a time as well. Every ghost gets its own personal command center, all right? That's a huge recruiting bonus. Dark with mass roaches. ByuN, mining through the golden minerals here. ByuN is just straight up Turtle Terran. If you guys remember, Rainer versus Spirit on this map, that was an ordeal. And it looks like we're shaping up for something similar here in Game 1 on Neo-Humanity. Oh. Multiple spires. Ghost count rising. Command center, he's already... Is that double-digit command centers now? He's got 4 more orbitals on the way. He's killing his own Marines! Both sides have turned on their own units as opposed to bothering with fighting their opponent. Wow. You gotta get a few more ghosts. I mean, pound for pound, ghosts are just straight up better than Marines. They have similar DPS, and I mean, twice as much HP. And of course, all those fancy abilities. The creep is extending across the front. I can't believe we're doing this again, even though it wasn't these two. Well, these two have gone the distance in many... He's shooting down his own medevacs. Is that really the unit? There's 6 medevacs. I think it's still Marine. If you were going to kill any of these units, Marines. He's at 80 SCVs. Why not the SCVs? All right, we're at how many orbitals now? 7 orbitals. He's got a planetary and an orbital here. It's like a display. Are those displays? For display only? This joke is not landing. But the orbital did right next to the planetary. He probably built it there, but 3 more command centers on the way. Which will bring us... It's so hard... 9? Okay. I think the SCVs might be walled off. I'm not even sure what's happening there. Is there any way... How is that possible? It looks like they're walled off, but there's clearly some space to move. I'm not sure what's going on there, but... Alright, the snipes turn things around. Dark, his ill-fated attack barely gets off the ground, but then he lands a set of fungals. He can chain them to kill some of the ghosts. And just as I say it, as my voice rises, the chances of that happening lower. Because if you don't outright kill him, the medevacs are going to bring him back to full. He's killed 1 ghost so far. But Dark has managed. Now, this is what Dark does better than anyone else. I'd say even better than Cyril. Because Cyril barely, like, he's a surgeon. Dark is more like, he's like a hockey player. Whereas Cyril uses precision. Dark uses a huge amount of precise momentum in order to essentially body check his opponents into submission. It isn't necessarily finesse, but it is just this... Oh my, another set of fungals. Well, thank you for interrupting me. I didn't know where I was going with it, but clearly Dark did. Another set of fungals, why would you even lift? The corrosive biles. I'm sorry. I did not do that fight justice. Here we go again. One more time. And the Ravagers and the Banes in front. 1 infestor goes down, but the second infestor has the fungal. Lands the corrosive biles alongside it. The lurkers on the left are interrupting a lot of the ghosts, and the corrosives lay down the rest. Oh my, and through that, he only lost 3 infestors for 12 ghosts. Just play like Dark. How do you counter ghosts? Just play like Dark. Where's the neural parasite? Because, oh, we're broodlords. They're broodlords now. Gonna work through the rocks. The planetary's there. We're well into double digit. We're gonna go on 20 command centers pretty soon. More orbitals on the way. Still gotta work through it. Broodlord count is not nearly at the number you need in order to bully your way through. You need to flood the entire field. Dark had pioneered... Honestly, Broodlords got somewhat nerfed because of Dark. I think we can give... Even though it wasn't as direct, I think, it was Dark who pioneered the kind of disgusting, cannibalistic Broodlord strategy that became the endgame. where broodlings, Dark realized, last about twice as long as it takes to launch another set of broodlings. So if you trigger the first set of broodlings on the ones you've already launched, you could actually extend the range of your broodlords by feeding on the broodlings that already exist. So in the patch at the beginning of the year, the duration of broodlings was nerfed by about 30-40%, which makes that strategy almost irrelevant. It can still be done, but to much less effect. The fungals on the ghosts, finding great effect though, gets a couple more, loses a viper in the mix there, but a dark wizard indeed. Still managing to trade efficiently against mass ghost. Thor's being added in. This is the late game army. It doesn't get more late game. Well, I take it back. We're missing high-sec auto tracking and building armor, which ByuN is almost completed now. What is Dark missing? Also, Liberators with advanced ballistics. I've seen a few attempts at Ravens. I believe Spirit was tried some of that as well. Ravens, and the Scan Valley. That is the most difficult. Oh, there's a Liberator. The most difficult part is contending with the fact that Terrans essentially have map hacks in the late game. Yes, it takes some APM, but once you get to 9 orbitals and you no longer need minerals, that is essentially you always have a scan. You never don't have scans. It's just up to you to actually use them. The Banelings do a full roll-by of the planetary fortress. Unfortunately, not enough to take it out. Dark, 10 overlords in production. This game, while it got all... Oh, he gets a Thor! If he just grabs the entire army. Oh my god! He just takes some of the... Yeah, heal me! He's healing himself through the siege tank fire! Ah! It didn't work. It was not a great idea. He much rather would have gotten the Thors and the siege tanks. But I like the idea that's straight out of Carbot right there. I believe I saw the documentary that Carbot Animations made of that moment of grabbing a, as you know, our dear leader, Derp. I'm sorry. Wait, Jimmy. Oh my god. I can't, it's happening. What? I can't. When the infestor grabs the medevac in order to heal it, or the medic in order to heal itself, but it's in a real game. Like, it's a real, the Thor, he's dodging the shots because there's no anti-air to stop him. The Broodlords are trying to chase, but he can't, but a parasitic bomb. The parasitic bomb, the Queen, Brenda, where are you going? Why are you going that way? Assimilation successful. Oh my god. Dark is, I don't know what was assimilated here. Resistance seems to be a little bit more than futile. But he takes the Thors. Thor's a good counter to Ghosts. Dark borrowing the Terran, knowing how strong it is. He's got to be careful. He grabs the Thors back. And now ByuN might want to consider killing his own Thor. What am I watching? All right. He's not quite in range. No, he's letting them live so he can keep using them against ByuN. Oh, here comes the Ghost, but... Oh my god. Dark. And Ricky! Ricky, the accidental swarm host. You know, I choose to believe it's intentional with Dark. He's like, I need exactly one swarm host to cover for my infestors. Alright, that's exactly the strat. It wasn't an accident. Nothing I do was an accident. It was all planned. The plan was to have no plan. Therefore, everything I do is according to plan. So despite all of this, ByuN still maintains pretty much all of his bases. He's doing Thor drops. This game is insane. The Thor... There's the swarm host! Ricky! The Thor... Wait, the Thor is trapped. Oh my god, the Thor can't let me out! Let me out! He can't get out. He's too thick. Oh. It really looks like he should be able to. That's what happened a lot this game. But he actually can't get by. He got him with the medevac. There was no evac. The infestors are underneath. He grabs a Thor. Just passing by. Just passing through. Meanwhile, the ghost, though, in the center of the map. The fungals, blinding cloud, negates the Thors. Grabs. Oh! What is this? Oh my god, he gets all the ghosts! The EMPs, though, he can't chain it! The cloak! The Thors are bashing through! Burrowed infestors everywhere! It feels like Dark is winning, but you can't neural parasite a medevac with units in it, unfortunately. But you can force him to drop out the Thors and use them to kill the medevacs that were holding the units. You can do that. Dark? I'm pretty sure Dark has killed more units with Terran this game than ByuN. Ricky! He pops out the Locust! And somehow, while popping out the Locust, manages to fungal, but doesn't win the second set. How is Ricky still alive? Everyone making a cameo appearance. The Derp Fester. Ricky's here. The amount... I stopped being able to form sentences a while ago. Because this game speaks for itself. I don't know. Actually, no, it doesn't. This is one of the most technical, confusing clusterfucks I've ever seen in StarCraft 2. And it's beautiful. Did he transfuse Ricky? No, it's just healing, sorry. Ricky does not. He doesn't... Ricky is an anti-transfuser, alright? He doesn't believe in getting health from queens, but instead by naturally regenerating it, which takes much longer and is completely impractical, but that's just how Ricky be, and pretty much why he exists in the first place. So. Okay, so we're no real... ByuN lost... he's not maxed out, but Dark has... All of this, all it's done is buy time. That's so many infestors. How many infestors is that? That's 29 infestors. This absolute madman. There are 29 infestors. There's almost as many infestors as command centers in this. In fact, there are more. EMP. He just tries to fungal detection. He's splitting against the ghosts. The EMP can't die. If you build enough infestors, then they can't EMP all of them. Seems to be Dark's strategy. And it's kind of, well, the Thors now have 3-3. Oh my god, he knocks down the ghost vacs with his own Thors. Well, this is still, like, as soon as the Thor comes out of the neural parasite, it blasts apart all the banelings and all of that. Dark now making lurkers. Check that off your bingo card. That was probably a free space, to be honest, but... So. You know, I feel like the units lost tab is not very helpful, because... How many... It's hard to tell exactly... how much has done what. I would love to know how many units, Terran units, have killed for Dark. Because right now, he's got a mercenary contract out. He's not too picky about who he's hiring either. Well, the Lurker is going to be able to slice through the planetary. The rag... speaking of mercenaries, what is this? 1 Marine, 2 Blue Flame Hellbats, and a Thor? And 4 ghosts, but everybody leaves. They leave behind the Thor and the Hellbats. The Lurker's getting sliced... Well, shot down while they slice up some of the ghosts. But here comes Dark. Yet again... Did he just yank in his own overseer? He's just spamming it out there. Oh, he takes the ghost! Finally! I can't believe it's taken this long. But he doesn't actually have detection for the other ghost! So he can't kill it. Meanwhile, this army... Oh my god. Well. Alright. Yeah, we base trading the 2 spires with 3-3 on the way. They're bleeding out off a creep. ByuN may very... Of course, this is going to go to a base trade. He actually didn't see the spires. They may finish their upgrades, though I don't think we've seen a... Is he going to... I was about to say, before we see a single spire unit. Though, he's been building Broodlords the entire game. The EMPs, he's trying to save them with Medivacs, but the Medivacs and the Ghosts will die. The main base, the entire tech tree being cut off at the stump. There's a siege tank. Wait, oh, he loses the hive, but he gains some Thors. He gets the Ghost. He's fumbling. Wait. No, you got a Neural again. You can't let those things. Those are very dangerous. Oh my, he loses like half a dozen infestors there. Okay, he has no way to kill the Thor. Hydra comes up. Big job, huh? The spires, their job finished, will now bleed out in peace. Well, with ByuN versus Dark, I have no idea. I don't know who's winning. I know who's winning. The fans. Okay? No matter how this ends, ByuN has been really hurt. Like, no one. I've never seen such cost effectiveness. For someone who's lost, he's killed 73 ghosts, 18 Thors. Oh my god. That is, like, you look at, first you look, you're like, 35 infestors. How does anyone come back from that? By killing 73 ghosts and 18 Thors. That's how they do that. In fact, Dark, somehow, Dark is the only player who can do this. Who can even pretend to be more cost-effective than a late-game Terran. And even now, it's still looking a little dicey as he comes off the creep. It's like a co-op mission. Every part of, I don't even know what's happening. He's throwing fungals out at the ramp. There's another mercenary group. The Greater Spire's about to bleed out. Dark doesn't have a lair with which to even drop creep. He's about to lose the Hydra Den. And honestly, I think losing the tech is by far the most painful part, as these are not easy things to rebuild, and he's running out of gas, literally and potentially figuratively. Oh my god. This is madness. No, this is Dark versus ByuN. And also ByuN versus ByuN with the help of Dark. Yep, this is, yep. Yep. Yep, of course, yep. Of course. So we got multiple hatcheries at the bases ByuN still has buildings at, while another group waltzes by. ByuN still has how many orbitals? 10. Why did the buildings keep switching their location on the buildings tab? Dark has maintained 16 infestors. There's only 7 ghosts left. 78 ghosts! Alright. Oh, he gets a ghost and EMPs, but he doesn't get all of them. Oh. Huh. Huh. Well, 10 orbitals gives you a lot of leeway when it comes to the scans. As things slow down, I think ByuN... Well, 8 ghosts. And 8 ghosts sound like an intimidating number, but Dark has managed to really minimize their effect. I have never seen this many ghosts. I think I can almost this may be the most ghosts that have ever died in an actual professional match. Let alone built. Like, ByuN will build 100. Usually you see a lot in the late game. A whole bunch. A whole heaping helping. But nobody goes... the ultimate ghost buster. These ghosts getting shut down harder than Blizzard with their standalone game. Oh my god, grabs the ghost, EMPs the rest! And the ghosts that do live end up working for Dark. He corrupts them, and it's working. I can't believe it's working. Like, this is not a realistic thing. This is not a thing that, this is not how it works. Like, you can't just say, well, just neural parasite is ghosts and go ghosts. Like, that's... I don't know how he makes it work so well. He just has this effect. He's body checking the ghosts. Quite literally in this case, he's just running up with the roaches. 9 SCVs at a time. I don't even know where he's gonna mine with 9. I guess... How much is left? 500, 500? Worth making a refinery, of course. Well, this is alright. I'll say this right now. So, do I have a moment? Will you give me a moment, Dark? No. This is gonna take more than 10 seconds, so we'll see how this goes. Well, a huge, massive, oh my god, encompassing fungals, hitting everything they need to. The roaches and lings, not a single baneling in sight, not one needed. He borrows a siege tank for splash damage. The planetary on the high ground can make the difference. Another fungal, a few hydras, a single liberator helping out. But if he could neural that tank again, he gets through the planetary fortress. And Dark is looking to, but wait, the Hellbats! They're burning through the north side. They're burninating through the countryside. Another ghost dies. Another base has been forced away. Dark is a similar... that sounded like a ghost. I have no idea where. Oh, he got in here. He killed another ghost. I can't... 89 ghosts. Anyways, what I was trying to say is the game of the year. All right, people make fun of myself and name a Dutch caster putting game of the year on the videos. Well, the idea is at the end of the year, we're all going to get together. Well, hopefully. Or at least me and Loco have talked about it. And then we decide what is the true game of the year. Because, believe it or not, there are hundreds of games in each tournament. These two play half a dozen times a week. So... I think the game of the year is reserved for like that top low single-digit % of games. There might be 3 in a row. There might not be one for 3 months. But the point is, it's not just the clickbait, but I think after 13 years of StarCraft, there's games that stand out. And honestly, a really surprising amount of them this year. And this is definitely qualifying as one, obviously. That's what I'm getting to, but... The idea is, instead of just making it kind of random, it's just this upper tier of games. And then, for extra fun at the end of the year, we'll figure out what the true game of the year is. But I hope you agree that even though there are so many great games, there are some that are just a little bit greater. And I have no idea. We're 35 minutes in. I don't know how this ends. This is ridiculous. I've never seen anyone dismantle Turtle Terran quite like this. It's ByuN we're talking about here. And Dark, he's not making it look easy. It looks incredibly difficult. But he's making it look possible. And that is something else. Did he just accidentally... That's a dominance shroud right there. Alright, he cast microbial shroud on him. So the Microbial Shroud is the same hotkey as Corrosive Bile. So I think that's what happened. For once, Dark misclicked a bit. Well, ByuN has now mined 10k more minerals, and he just now got a little more gas. 100 ghosts. It's gonna be 100 ghosts killed by the time this is over. The hardest part, I hope you'll agree, that's the best clickbait for this. Even past game of the year. I've never seen 100 ghosts die. Not in a real game. Not like in a game where it's so hard fought. I'm sorry for so much meta commentary at this stage, but I'm just flabbergasted. Zerglings coming in. There's nothing protecting the tanks. The Hellbats have all run off. All but one tank will die to Zerglings. The Overlords join out of solidarity. The Ravager count. The thing is, Dark is starting to run kind of, well, how many ghosts? Still 9 ghosts to 9 infestors. 47 infestors dead. Oh my god. Another set of ghosts down. Does he have enough for a neural? He may. He knocks out a few more. Dark still maintaining this dangerous death ball. Does he even have an infestation pit? Died. How many have died? Only one. He never rebuilt it? He's still working off the infestors from before? Oh my. I can't, like, only now is it starting to get, does he even have a, he's on hatch tech. He never even rebuilt the lair. He may have nope, he never rebuilt it. That's crazy. Dark is like, well, I got all the tech I need. Keep the infestors alive, build Roach Ravager, don't need a lair for that. Only a couple ghosts left. EMP land, still enough for a fungal. I think. No, not quite. He's getting to these, he's dismantling this. There's still an army moving up to the north. Mostly mech at this stage. He actually goes into Hellion mode. How rare do we see that to chase down the drones? Dark is about to be at less drones than he started. Oh my god. Oh my. He's down to 2. Oh. Well, it's not like ByuN has a booming economy anymore either. There's some overlords over here. Oh, he fires off a volley. Gonna knock down another orbital. We're leaving ByuN with only 7. Yeah, Dark's like, well, I'll take what I can get. I'm not gonna save those bases. He's down to 1 drone. He's down to 1 drone, which is, and he only has enough to build 1 more. Oh my god, I think, is that, oh my, the drone was in vision the whole time. Jesus. So, we're quickly getting to the point where Dark can no longer win the game. I might remind you that in StarCraft 2, technically... Oh, well, there goes that. Pardon the interruption. Technically, you must destroy all your opponent's buildings in order to achieve victory. So, this game might be amazing, but it might not even technically count. Because a draw... These seem kind of desperate, these neurals. But at the end of the day, there's still some minerals on the map. ByuN still has money in the bank, and Dark is just out. Now, ByuN doesn't know that for sure, but these are some desperation moves. I'm sure he's going to realize it if time goes on. So Dark working his way through. Another fungal hits every ghost, pretty much. He's got to be careful not to corrosive bile himself, but he's still making his way through. Is there any detection? He cloaks the ghost. ByuN realizes at the last moment, Dark almost broke through, but instead, ByuN holds the line in the most brain-breakingly topsy-turvy roller coaster of a Terran versus Zerg. We didn't hit it. The number was on the field. He lost 100 Hellbats. He lost 98 ghosts. 98 of them. Wow. I almost don't want to cast the rest of the series. Like, we're not going to top that. Then again, it's Dark versus ByuN. We may very well. Okay. All right. Calm down. Cold shower. Move on. Just edit it out. I don't know what to think anymore. ByuN just finds, and I think losing the hive, losing the tech was just a little too much, as ByuN still had enough economy left. Well, a worthy match between those two, but ByuN does get off to a one game lead. Jimmy. ByuN promised to do the build until it lost, or until I win. It might be... Wait. He's just gonna go command center first. Okay. Oh, I can barely remember. That actually started with 2 Rex Reaper, but went into Dark just shutting down the Marine timing and almost nothing happening for 10 minutes, exploding into... Still, I can't get over it. I always feel disappointed my words fail me like that, but I hope my feelings, the real important thing here, I hope the feel of that match was conveyed, as the dark arts, indeed. Yes, ByuN won the game, but ByuN, and how many players would have been able to keep up with that multitasking? ByuN always had... And this is... Oh my god, he's gonna go 2 Rex Reaper again. It might not... No, I think it's Reaper. He's gonna do it again, but with different flavor. I love the commitment. He said he'd do it till it wins, so I guess this technically qualifies. I'm sorry, back to last game. Back to... One of the hardest parts of both playing Zerg and I think StarCraft 2 in general... I was complimenting ByuN. I want to finish that first. First, like and subscribe. What, 1,050? Can we do 1,069 likes for this one? Actually, I'm gonna reach higher. But I completely lost my train of thought. Complimenting ByuN. It might have seemed like, oh, Terran just always has money, always has cost efficiency. And while he did go for that mass orbital play, ByuN he just kind of takes whatever units and goes. A lot of players get stuck in the mindset of, I'm setting out a Marine drop or a Hellion run by, stuff like that. Whereas ByuN builds like a battle group. A battle group of units that he sends out and works with that, which is the quickest and usually the most effective way, because now you have ghosts and tanks, and like things you can't just deal with by one certain response. And that's what makes it so difficult to fight ByuN, because there is no, well, I guess Dark's one size fit all was the Infestor, because ByuN stopped making Thors because of the Infestors. All right, side note, actually, we got to skip forward to reality here. And ByuN has decided he doesn't wall off. He's making like a little pocket here for the Marines. A protective depot wall. I mean, you can't get in there with the Zerg. He has the SCVs to protect him. Dark really wants to get the damage done. I can't... This is like 20% trolling and 80% just how ByuN plays. Don't try this at home for the 4 of you that have played ladder this year. This is no respect. Gives his Marines more room to maneuver. And that's really all he needs. Roach Horde is on the way, but not for some sort of all-in from Dark. He's going up to 50 drones. It just is... It's going to end up being a 2 medevac timing. All right? Wow, he went command center first into 5... So quick. Command center first into 5-minute double medevac drop with Marines. A ByuN classic. It's a bit of an adapted build, but he was the pioneer, well, of so many staple builds. Everybody wants to micro like ByuN, but they really should be trying to macro like Cure. But ByuN with these very iconic Mass Reaper, medevac drop style, the just multi-prong ghosts. These are all things I think you can pretty directly attribute to ByuN. While Maru might do all of those things slightly better, ByuN does it with so much more flair. And well, here we go. Marines will drop out right on the edge of the creep. Say, our work here is done, and move slightly back. Head towards the main. The queens are ready to receive them. No problem there. What is there to defend? Plenty of roaches. Without combat shield. Well, guns down a roach, sees the rest, decides against it. And, I mean, I said ByuN's all about putting those battle groups together, but in this case, it's going to be Marines and medevacs. And that's it. That's the whole army composition. Does he need anything else? We'll find out. Dark dodges with a Ravager morph there, which gives them a bunch of extra armor, and it doesn't cost very much to lose. And you do lose the original Roach, but Infestation Pit already on the way. All three medevacs coming together. ByuN is +1. He's got combat shield. He's got stim. And he's got medevacs. What else does he need? Even a siege tank or two at the back line. Just gunning through. The roaches, without the upgrades, can't really compete with the focus fire of the Marines. The entire army's coming together. ByuN does have a third, but he is quite committed to this Marine tank style. There's still quite a window. Is there even roach speed? Yes. Okay, it's done. And, alright, stimming up. Siege tanks in a nice spot. Just a couple queens taken out immediately. I think a bunch of the queens are still in the main. A lot of damage coming out from the siege tanks. The Marines stand their ground. Gets two more Ravagers. Medevac's still very intact. Stims again. Most of the damage coming out from Stim. The Queens are here now, but there's nothing in front of them. How anticlimactic would this be? 1-1 finishes, but there's almost no army left. Now 4 siege tanks, another group of Marines on the way. Still 3 medevacs intact with some energy left. Dark just caught sleeping here as the command center first, and the sheer amount of it's all over. It's over. ByuN not letting this drag on, as that first game was quite an experience. The second game, on the other hand, was just ByuN slicing right through, tearing up Dark in a way only ByuN knows how. ByuN looking amazing, as he often has lately. Dark still. And ByuN defeated the final boss. That's what it feels like. He got past the difficult phase, and the second phase is a bit of a joke. The one where he's able to just make Marines. Well, that was a good kind of hangover game there. As pretty clear-cut Marine tank timing takes it home. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. Hope I made your day a little bit better. 1,069 likes. That's what we're doing. Thank you for all the support. Make sure to keep checking it out. I will continue to bring you the best of RTS games. And yes, that includes now more info about Stormgate. Make sure to check out my review of the first gameplay footage, as well as the first units in their info released. And give your opinion. And I'm sure we'll be doing a lot more of that as time goes on. But still, we have Dark versus ByuN. And that means things are good. Thank you for watching. Good luck. Have fun. Stay chill.